In the living world chapter, I have already discussed what are the characteristic feature of the living organism, like growth, reproduction, uh, that is consciousness, cellular organization, metabolism, and out of all, the metabolism and cellular organization, consciousness is a they are the defining feature, and reproduction and growth is a non-defining feature. But all these are characteristic feature of the living things. So living beings, you know, uh, the living world, our Earth is having a lot of variety of living organism. According to the survey, we are having 1.7 to 1.8 million species till date that we know. That is only the species, not the number. Each species are having thousands or lakhs of number. But I am here saying about the species. That only species we know, that is 1.7 to 1.8 million. Just like human being is one species. I am not counting the number. There are different species, and this numbers refers to the known biodiversity on the earth. Although the actual biodiversity present on earth is far more than this number, because we doesn't know that many things are yet to be discovered. The term biodiversity or biological diversity means the entire number and type of organism present on earth, and the living world includes all the living organism, whether it's a microorganism, plant, animal, human, fungus. Okay, so for studying the this whole biodiversity, it is it is very difficult. Like there are many species. How can you study each and every species? So there is a need of for classification, and the classification is necessary for organism due to the following reasons: that it is convenience for studying. We can also have the knowledge of adaptations. We can also have the knowledge of sequence of evolution, knowledge of phylogenetic relationship, and discovery of new organisms. And for doing this classification, uh, we use the term taxonomy. So, what actually is a taxonomy? Taxonomy is a it's a process of classification. You can say the taxonomy is a process of classification, and the Carolus Linnaeus is the father of taxonomy. And you in the taxonomy, the taxonomist is the Carolus Linnaeus, suppose. So there are the four ways to do the taxonomy. First, you have to characterize the thing on the basis of its character, then identify, then give it a proper classification. Where will you put in that particular classification, and then the nomenclature. So one by one, I will tell you, like characterization. What is the meaning of characterization? That understanding of characters of organism, such as external or internal structure, structure of cell, development process, ecological information. That is a characteristic feature. Like अगर हम mammals के characteristic feature की बात करें, तो हम कहते हैं we are having a hair, external pinna, okay, mammary glands. So these are our characters. So every organism is having a unique characters. On that basis, we can characterize, and after characterization, we do the identification. It is a most, it is a correct description of the organism, so that the naming is possible. पहले आपने उसे करेक्टराइज किया, करेक्टराइज करने के बाद आपने उसे क्या किया, उसको आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया. तो दीज आर द डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्टेजेस. पहले आपने उसे आइडेंटिफाई करेक्टराइज किया, फिर आइडेंटिफाई किया, आइडेंटिफाई के बाद आपने उसे क्लासिफाई किया. इट इज अ ग्रुपिंग ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म इनटू कन्वीनियंट कैटेगरीज. I told you that kingdom, phylum, class, order, genus, species, these are the categories, and we put that organism into based on its character, based on its identification. Okay, and finally the nomenclature. If it is properly fit into the classification system, then you know that it's a binomial nomenclature, and it is given by the Carolus Linnaeus in 1751, and it is a universally accepted. That is the advantage of this binomial nomenclature. I explained you what are the advantages of binomial nomenclature as compared to the common name. So, in this standardization of names of organisms, such as an organism is known by the same name all over the world, there is no confusion. The first name is genus and the second name is species. Just like mango, we use the term Magnifera indica, and for this fly, house, this is we use the term Apis indica for honeybee. So the system of naming with the two component is called the binomial nomenclature. Bi means two. Just like we are saying, like suppose my name is Surendra Arora. So the second name is caste, the first name. So means on the first second name we can identify whether it belongs to which category or which religion. We will know everything. So same here. The first name will tell you about the genus, and the second name will tell you about the species. And this is proposed by the Linnaeus, Carolus Linnaeus. Suppose P is a common name and the binomial nomenclature, the name is Pisum sativum. Onion name is Allium cepa. Mango is Magnifera indica. Wheat is Triticum aestivum. Danian is Ficus benjalalis. Just like, okay, Indian frog is Rana tigrina, just like this. So botanical names are based on the rules in the International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. Just like in chemistry, we are naming the chemical compound name IUPAC, International Union for जो organic chemistry में है. So same here, we are using the ICBN for botanical, like the plants, and ICZN for the animals. Like zoology is a study of animals, and botany is a study of plants. So there are some universal rules for binomial nomenclature that I told you. The first letter that you have to write in the capital or species, the first letter will be the species. That is a small letter. You have to make underline. You have to make a gap. Okay, and you can also add the author name. The first is genus. The second is a species. Now this is a taxonomic categories. Because classification is not a single step process, it involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or a category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, it is called the taxonomic category, and all the categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, if we together take all the taxonomic categories, we call them taxonomic hierarchy. तो जो सबसे जो हाईएस्ट है वो है किंगडम, और जो सबसे लोएस्ट है वो कैटेगरी कौन सी है? स्पीसीज. ठीक है, हाईएस्ट सबसे ज्यादा जो कॉमन करेक्टर्स हैं वो हमारे स्पीसीज लेवल पे. एज वी मूव फ्रॉम किंगडम टू स्पीसीज, द नंबर ऑफ कॉमन करेक्टर्स कीप्स ऑन इंक्रीजिंग. ठीक है, स्पीसीज लेवल पे मैक्सिमम सिमिलैरिटी हो जाएगी. स्पीसीज लेवल पे जो भी, और स्पीसीज की एक खास बात और है कि एक्चुअल में जो नेचर में जो एग्जिस्ट करती है physically, that is species. Genus will not exist physically, but species will exist physically. And what is a taxon? Taxon is a group of organisms. It's a unit of classification, and it is a rank in which it's commonly termed as taxon. And the taxon was first introduced by the ICBN in 1956. And this is a group of organisms occupying a particular category. Is called a taxon, just like class Mammalia. So class is a category, Mammalia is a taxon. Okay, here is a, you can like very clear about this. Okay, what is the meaning of category? What is the meaning of taxon? These are the different categories. One is lower category, one is higher category. Like kingdom is a higher category. Then phylum, then class, then order, family, genus, species. Many species, similar species, they form the genus. Many similar genus, they form the family. Many similar family, they form the order. Many similar order, they form the class. Many similar class, they will form the phylum or division. Phylum we use in the terms of animals, or division in the plants. And similar phylum or all the phylum division, they will form the kingdom. So kingdom is the highest category. Okay? And taxon is like kingdom Animalia. Animalia is taxon. Chordata is taxon. So taxon is a group of any rank that is sufficiently distinct to be worthy to be being assigned a definite category. So this is also called linear hierarchy because it is first time introduced by the Linnaeus, and each group represent category, and category further denotes a rank, and each rank or taxon represent a unit of classification. And these taxonomic group or categories are distinct biological entities, and they are not merely morphological aggregates. So taxon deals with the real biological objects, and category is an abstract term that simply represent a rank or a level in the classification. Just like taxon of humans is mammalia and category of humans is a class. Now, what is species? Species, one more thing, there is called common categories or obligate categories. The taxonomic categories which are always used in hierarchical classification, they are called obligate or common categories, and they are seven in number, like in the descending from kingdom to species. But all the taxonomic categories possess some similar characters which are not different these of others. So the maximum similarities occurs in the species. The maximum similarity, that question will asked many times. They have many times they have asked in the NEET exam also. So the maximum similarity occurs in the species level, and the lowest similarity is the kingdom level, and similarity of character decreases with the rise in hierarchy. This is very important statement, that similarity of character decreases with the rise in hierarchy. जैसे जैसे आप स्पीसीज से किंगडम की तरफ बढ़ोगे तो सिमिलैरिटी ऑफ कैरेक्टर डिक्रीज होते जाएंगे. हम स्पीसीज लेवल पे जो जो स्पीसीज लेवल पे कॉमन है वो सबसे ज्यादा कॉमन कैरेक्टर्स है. अगर आप जीनस पे देखेंगे तो उसमें कम कॉमन हो गए. ठीक है, ऐसे आपको एग्जांपल आएगा. तो स्पीसीज क्या चीज है? It is a group of closely related organisms capable of interbreeding to produce fertile offspring. The condition is important that fertile offspring. अगर fertile offspring produce नहीं होते तो it will be not considered as a species. Last time also I've given you example of ass and horse. The cross will form the mule, and mule is non-fertile. So means that ass and horse are not in the same species. If you can cross artificially, you can cross, but if they will not produce a fertile offspring, then it is not belongs to the same category. The members of the species, they interbreed freely, and they are reproductively isolated from others. Like you cannot cross mango with potato. So these are some different species, and each genus have one or more than one species that representing different organisms, but they are having similarities. Just like Panthera, they have tigris. Panthera is a genus. Panthera is having tigris, and Panthera is also like you can see here. The Panthera is Panthera leo is lion, Panthera tigris is tiger, and Panthera pardus is leopard. So at the genus level, they are same. All the three species, they have the same genus Panthera, but they are different at genus level because lion, tiger cannot they interbreed and produce a fertile offspring. That's why they are different. They are different and they are same up to the genus level because there is some similarities up to genus level, but species level they are different. Species में वही आएंगे जो मैक्सिमम रिजेंबल होंगे, इंटरब्रीड कर सकते हैं और फर्टाइल ऑफस्प्रिंग प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. दैट्स द रीजन. ओके, सो जीनस क्या है? इट इज एग्रीगेट्स ऑफ क्लोजली रिलेटेड स्पीसीज. जैसे हमने बताया पैंथेरा लियो, leopard और टाइगर, पोटैटो, टोमेटो, ब्रिंजल, these are belongs to same species Solanum. जीनस यहाँ पे फैलिस की बात हुई. फैलिस जंगल कैट के लिए भी सेम जीनस है और हाउस कैट के लिए भी सेम जीनस है, बट दे विल नॉट इंटरब्रीड. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर कॉमन एट द जीनस लेवल. अगर ये इंटरब्रीड कर जाती और इनके फर्टाइल ऑफस्प्रिंग होते तो दे बिलोंग्स टू सेम स्पीसीज. So that's why they are not same species. Their characters are similar only up to the genus level. So that's why they are in the same genus because there are some characters that is common for all. That is common. That's why they are in the genus. The order wise they are same. Family, it is a group of closely related genera like family Solanaceae, family Felidae. अब फैमिली फैलिडी में देखो दोनों जीनस आ गई, पैंथेरा भी आ गई और फैलिस भी आ गई। पैंथेरा जबकि लॉयन और लेपर्ड और टाइगर वाली थी, मतलब जीनस लेवल पे ये अलग थे। एट द जीनस लेवल द लॉयन एंड कैट इज डिफरेंट, बट एट द फैमिली लेवल दे आर सेम। ओके, तो फैलिडी में दोनों आ गई, क्योंकि सबसे सबसे ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स कहाँ पे होंगे? किंगडम में, उससे कम फाइलम में। जैसे जैसे आप किंगडम से स्पीसीज की तरफ आते हो तो नंबर ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म कम होते जाते हैं और नंबर ऑफ कॉमन कैरेक्टर्स बढ़ते जाते हैं। ठीक है, सिमिलैरिटी ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स डिक्रीज विद द राइज इन हियरार्की। ठीक है, द मैक्सिमम सिमिलैरिटी अकर्स इन द स्पीसीज लेवल which is the lowest category in the hierarchy. That is very important statement. ओके, तो हम ये पढ़ रहे थे फैमिली के बारे में। ऑर्डर, अब इट इज असेंबलेज ऑफ रिलेटेड फैमिलीज। द वर्ड रिलेटेड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इट इज नॉट दैट दिस इज असेंबलेज ऑफ मेनी फैमिलीज, इट इज असेंबलेज ऑफ रिलेटेड फैमिलीज। इन ऑल द किंगडम फाइलम क्लास ऑर्डर यू विल फाइंड द रिलेटेड, the related families they come under one order, the related order will come under one class, just like carnivora. Now the family Felidae and Canidae both come together in the order carnivora. ठीक है, Canidae भी आ गई इसमें जो डॉग्स वाली है, और इसमें कौन सी आ गई? Felidae। Felidae में टाइगर भी था और पैंथेरा भी थे। तो ऑर्डर लेवल पे इफ यू से द डॉग एंड लॉयन और कैट दे आर सेम ऑर्डर लेवल। सम वी आर, क्योंकि कुछ अगर हम किसी को कंपेयर करते हैं, सपोज मैं ह्यूमन बीइंग्स और इंसेक्ट्स को हम कंपेयर करें, तो वी आर सिमिलर अप टू किंगडम लेवल, क्योंकि फाइलम लेवल पे ये अलग हो गए। हमारा फाइलम कुछ और है, उनका फाइलम कुछ और है। अगर हम बात करें कि मतलब कि सभी का एट दे आर कॉमन एट अ पर्टिकुलर लेवल। Then class, it is assemblage of related orders, just like class Mammalia. इसमें ऑर्डर प्राइमेटा भी आ गया, ऑर्डर कार्निवोरा, मतलब प्राइमेटा इज आवर ऑर्डर, वी आर प्राइमेट्स। नाउ वी आर, इफ वी कंपेयर द डॉग्स विद अस, so we are similar at class level, not at a order level. Order level we are different because we are having order primata, we are primates and they are carnivores, but at a class level we are mammals. So we are common at like class Dicotyledonei, the order Polymonelids. Now, what is phylum? We use a phylum for animals and division for the plants. It is assemblage of related classes. In case of plants, the related classes form division, like class Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, Mammalia. They comes under phylum Chordata. Those who have the chordates, we know chordates and non-chordates, we know that. तो chordates में सब आ गए, तो phylum chordates में आ गए। तो यहाँ पे frog में भी हम frog, reptiles, aves, birds, mammalia, we are common at phylum level। ठीक है, phylum level पे birds भी आ गए हमारे साथ, frog भी आ गए हमारे साथ, reptile में snake भी आ गए हमारे पास। ठीक है, we are common at that। At kingdom level, it is assemblage of related phylum. It is the highest category। ठीक है, हाईएस्ट में अब इसमें सारे फाइलम्स आ गए और किंगडम प्लांटी में सारे डिविजन्स आ गए। तो किंगडम लेवल पे तो हम सारे ही कॉमन है ना, क्योंकि अगर हम एनिमल्स की बात करें तो किंगडम लेवल पे मैक्सिमम सब वी आर कॉमन, सारे फाइलम उसके अंदर आ गए और सभी फाइलम्स के अंदर सारे क्लास ऑर्डर जीनस स्पीशीज आ गए। तो किंगडम लेवल पे तो हम सब, इट इज द हाईएस्ट कैटेगरी and this includes all the organisms which share a set of distinguished characters. So all the animals belongs to various phyla are assigned the highest category, that is kingdom Animalia, or all the plants they kept in kingdom Plantae. So R.H. Whitaker has given the 5 kingdom classification. The 2 kingdom classification is proposed by the this Carolus Linnaeus. The 5 kingdom classification is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia। ठीक है, दैट विल स्टडी इन द सेकंड चैप्टर। अब आप देखो कि किंगडम एनिमेलिया पे हम सब कॉमन है, एनिमल्स, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एनिमल्स। कॉर्डेट्स में सिर्फ कॉर्डेट्स आ गए। अगर हम मैमल्स की बात करें तो ओनली मैमल विल कम, बिकॉज इन कॉर्डेट्स देयर आर मेनी अदर, मैमल्स भी थे, एव्स भी थे, रेप्टाइल्स भी थे। बट मैमल्स में कार्निवोरा प्राइमेट्स भी थे, अलग हो गए हम। फिर कार्निवोरा में फैलिडी, सिर्फ फैलिडी की बात कर रहे हैं। फैलिडी में भी जीनस पैंथेरा, पैंथेरा में भी सिर्फ जीनस स्पीसीज टिग्रिस की बात करें तो स्पीसीज लेवल पे तो सिर्फ वही आ जाएंगे जो इंटरब्रीड कर सकते हैं, एंड दे विल प्रोड्यूस अ फर्टाइल ऑफस्प्रिंग। तो अगर नंबर ऑफ स्पीसीज की बात करें, नंबर ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स की बात करें, तो सबसे ज्यादा किंगडम में है, किंगडम में सारे हैं। और सबसे कम अगर हम देखें तो स्पीसीज में है। बट स्पीसीज में क्या है, कॉमन करेक्टर्स सबसे ज्यादा है, और कॉमन करेक्टर्स जो है वो डिक्रीज हो रहे हैं जैसे जैसे हम स्पीसीज से किंगडम की तरफ जा रहे हैं। ठीक है, तो इतना ही। आप कुछ पूछना चाहो तो पूछ सकते हो उसके बारे में अब तक। हेलो। Plants or animal species and knowing their habitats and other traits are essential, and they are the prime source of taxonomic studies. तो इसमें क्या है कि जैसे पहला है हार्बेरियम। हार्बेरियम में हम क्या करते हैं, इट इज ए स्टोर हाउस ऑफ प्लांट स्पेसिमेन। जैसे लाइब्रेरी के अंदर बुक्स होती है ना, ऐसे ही हार्बेरियम के अंदर हम क्या करते हैं, इट इज ए स्टोर हाउस ऑफ कलेक्टेड प्लांट स्पेसिमेन दैट आर ड्राइड, प्रेस्ड एंड प्रिजर्व ऑन शीट्स। हम शीट्स पे इन्हें पेस्ट कर देते हैं, इन्हें ड्राई करके। जैसे आपने कभी देखा होगा किसी ने अगर कभी कोई रोज या कुछ मेंटेन दैट हार्बेरियर, जैसे वहां पे हम लिख देते हैं कि डेट एंड प्लेस ऑफ कलेक्शन, इस इंग्लिश नेम, लोकल नेम, बोटानिकल नेम, द फैमिली ऑफ दिस प्लांट, द कलेक्टर नेम, किसने कलेक्ट किया है, कहाँ से कलेक्ट किया है। ठीक है, तो इस तरीके हम हार्बेरियम शीट्स बना के, किसी ने एंजियोस्पर्म की बनाई, किसी ने अलग फैमिली की बनाई, किसी ने अलग की बनाई। तो इस तरह से हम बना के उसे जब अलग अलग तरह से स्टोर कर देते हैं तो उसका फायदा क्या है, वाई वी आर डूइंग दिस हार्बेरियम। बेसिकली जो हार्बेरियम है, दे आर यूज फॉर आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ प्लांट्स। अब किसी को स्टडी करना है कि वो प्लांट कैसा दिखता है, उसके फ्लावर कैसे दिखते हैं, तो उसे बार बार फील्ड में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है। देखो आज की डेट में तो इंटरनेट है, तो आपके पास सारी इंफॉर्मेशन है। बट इफ दैट इंटरनेट वाज नॉट देयर, so you can dependent on the library or these things, because earlier we are using these tools. Now on the internet you can have everything, you don't need to go anywhere, because in the net you will see each and every kind of characteristic feature, how it looks like Google will provide you all the information. But earlier, when there is a history in the past time, we need these kind of things. Nowadays nobody will go to library, they all go for internet, and they will check the online books or everything. So but these are used for the identification of plants, that is having the compilation of flora, monograph, manuals, and they are based on the specimens. These are useful in locating wild varieties and relatives of economically important plants. They help in knowing the morphological variation found in species. The herbaria are useful for research in plant taxonomy, morphology, and endangered and rare species. You can study these things. The second one is botanical garden. These gardens are specialized gardens that have collection of living plants. In the botanical garden or zoological park, that is deals with the living things, and the museums are, they they are with the preserved. They are with the dead thing. Like we are preserving in museum, we are having the preserved things, dead plants or animals. In botanical garden, we are having the living plants. Okay, it doesn't mean that botanical garden don't have the any animal, but it is basically for the collection of living plants, because it is a botanical garden. But it doesn't mean that botanical garden will not have any kind of animal. That is for the reference and identification, ताकि आप उसे एक रेफरेंस आपने देखना हो कि कैसे दिखता है। मान लो मोंकी है, उसकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक कैसे है, कोई रेप्टाइल है, उसकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक कैसे है, तो आप उसे स्टडी कर सकते हो। तो यूजुअली द प्लांट स्पेसिफिक टू ए फिजिकल कंडीशन of a specific geographical region are grown in botanical garden, and these gardens generally have facilities like library, laboratory, herbarium, and museum. And the botanical gardens are maintained by the government, semi-government, private organization. And the famous botanical garden is a Royal Botanical Garden in Kew, that is England. that is having the 6.5 million species, and the New York Botanical Garden in the New York, and the in India, the main is our Indian Botanical Garden, that is Havada. That is the biggest, largest botanical garden of Asia. That is National Botanical Research Institute in the Lucknow. It's a famous one. It is having 80,000 species. So you have to remember the names. So the role of botanical garden, because they have a they will provide the recreation facility to people. They will like provide a aesthetic appeal. A wide variety of plant species grow there, so that provide ready material for research. They are important for the role of conservation of endangered plant species. देखो कुछ चीजें ऐसी हैं जो एंडेंजर्ड हो रही हैं, उसको हम वहां पे क्या कर सकते हैं, एक्स सी टू, एक होता है इन सी टू। एक्स सी टू कंजर्वेशन और इन सी टू कंजर्वेशन, अगर जहाँ की वो हैबिटेट है नेचुरल, अगर उसे वहीं पे कंजर्व करें तो हम बोलते हैं इन सी टू। अगर उसे कहीं और से लाके, जैसे मान लो तमिलनाडु की वैरायटी है, उसे हम लाके हरियाणा में ग्रो करें, तो वो एक्स सी टू कंजर्वेशन हो गया। वो उसकी नेचुरल हैबिटेट नहीं है, लेकिन हम उसे दूसरी जगह लाके, एंडेंजर्ड स्पीसीज है उसको यहाँ पे ला रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो उसे यहाँ पे अगर हम ग्रो कर रहे हैं, उसे देख रहे हैं, तो एंडेंजर्ड प्लांट तो हो गया एक्स सी टू कंजर्वेशन। There are more than 500 botanical gardens all over the world, and they will provide free exchange of seeds. They also improve the environment, provide greenery, help in creating pollution-free environment, and serve as a habitat for animals. Botanical Museum, I told you that it is a space for the preserved plants and animals for study and reference. The universities, the big universities and education institute, they maintain their own museum. Like FRI Dehradun is a common nearby. If you can go to see any museum, they preserve bacteria. They preserve the like algae, fungi, mosses, fern, fruits. They are contained in the jar in preservative solution like formalin. Plants or animals they are also preserved as a dry specimen. Insects are preserved in insect box, and larger animals are either stuffed or preserved in skeletal form. So the museum, the famous museum is American Museum of National Natural History in New York, and India is a National Museum of Natural History. Museum of Arthropoda is Pune. The importance of these is the specimen preserved in precision solution. I told you. So the next is zoological park. These are also called zoo. They are the places where wild animals are kept in protected environment and under human care, and which enables them to learn about their food habits and behavior. And this zoological park, they provide natural habitat to the animals. And in India, there are about 200, 200 zoological parks, and the zoos are managed by the Central Zoo Authority of India. The word zoo conservation strategy refers to all these zoological institutions as zoo. The role of zoological parks is these are the centers for conservation of threatened and rare animal species, and these provide site for ex situ conservation. I told you what is the meaning of ex situ, because these animals, wild type animals, they are not belongs to that particular habitat. We are, suppose हम बंगाल से टाइगर यहाँ पे ले आए पंजाब में, जैसे यहाँ पे आपने पटियाला में भी है ना एक पार्क है, तो दैट वी आर, अगर इफ वी आर एक्स टू कंजर्वेशन करते हैं, दैट वी आर कैप्टिव ब्रीडिंग करते हैं उसके एंडेंजर्ड एनिमल्स की। द जूलॉजिकल पार्क इंक्रीज द पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट इन द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ, and these are centers for recreation and education also. But nowadays we are making them for fun, and we are polluting that environment and everything. So ultimately, it is they made for some other purpose. Nowadays we are using it for some other purpose. Next, the famous zoo are India is National Zoological Park Delhi, Rajiv Gandhi Zoological Park Pune, Alien Forest Zoo Kanpur, one in this in Patiala. It is in the Jirakpur to Patiala Road. I forget the name. So the next one is Key. The key is also a taxonomical aid that is used for identification of plants and animals based on similarities and dissimilarities. होता क्या है, की भी एक तरह से रिकॉर्डेड चीजें हैं, जैसे दे आर द रिकॉर्डेड डिस्क्रिप्शन कीज. इसमें क्या होता है कि देयर इज ए लीड. इट हेल्प्स इन द आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स एट डिफरेंट कैटेगरी लेवल. हर की हर लेवल पे अलग अलग होती है, ठीक है. इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टैक्सोनॉमिक एड. Keys can be defined as a set of alternate characters arranged in a such a manner that by selection and eliminating one can quickly find out the name of an organism. Depending upon the category, keys may be of like different class having different keys, different order having the different keys, family having family key, genus having genus key. Suppose you are confusing with the families or genus, so you will come out with a conclusion that you will take help of the key. Suppose it is based on contrasting characters generally in pair of, that is called couplet. जैसे मैं इसमें क्वेश्चन इसमें दे रखा है कि कोई ऑर्गेनिज्म है, तो उसमें एक स्टेटमेंट है whether it's having dry skin, yes or no. तो either the answer will be yes or either the no. If it is having the yes, then again the question is, the lead is, it is having hair, yes or no. So you will have to select one. If it is yes, again the question is, the lead is opposable thumb is yes or no. Then again, if you select the yes, then again it's a bipedal, then it is yes or no. So by using these contrasting characters, I am taken yes or no, you will come to the conclusion that we are talking about, that you can identify that it is a human. So keys are like this. They are having, each couplet has two opposite opinion. Of these, only relevant option is accepted and other is rejected. And each statement in the key is called a lead. And it is a recorded things. They are the recorded, just like flora, they are the recorded description, just like manuals and catalogs. So these are the taxonomical acts. Like they have given the example of key, like if there is a gram positive cell, whether it's a yes or no. If a rod shape, yes or no, like gram positive, gram negative. It's a cocci, they can tolerate oxygen, yes or no. Then they are the ferment lactose, yes or no. So on that basis, like it's a branching type of key, you can come to conclusion whether it's a Shigella, Escherichia, Citrobacter, Enterobacter, or Salmonella, based upon different lead, and each lead having the two options. So it is a actual. What is a flora? We use the word flora and fauna. Fauna is for the animals and flora is for plants. It is an actual account of habitat and distribution of plant species of a given area. They are the recorded description. Okay. And manuals are the record that contain information for identification of names of species found in an area. These are called manuals. These are all recorded description, just like a book. Monograph, these are the recorded that contain information only about one taxon. That's why we call monograph. Just like a flora of Pans Himalaya. Okay, they will give you information only about the one taxon. उसके बारे में सब कुछ, एक taxon के बारे में सारी information. So manuals are useful in providing information for identification of names of species found in particular area. Manual ये हुआ, और जो the first ever monograph of a plant taxon was given in Robert Morrison in 1672. The monograph is a comprehensive treatment of a taxon in biological taxonomical studies. These contain information on any one taxon, and monograph revise all known species within only a group, and they add newly discovered species if they are having, and they are available information on the ecological association, geographical distribution, and morphological variation within the group. Catalog is also the same. It's a description, a recorded description, and it's a alphabetical list of species. Okay, you can get that information. They are the all recorded description. So that is all from my side. Now you please ask any question. Hello.